welcome, folks. Sherman Ray for Lovin and Livin in Vegas, the podcast. Want to welcome everybody to the show today. It is a great day to be alive. I got to tell you, I'm, as you can tell, I'm a little peppier than I normally am. It's because I'm that much closer to being over my cold. Yeah, I know. It's been this has been like just killing me, just devastating me that I've actually had this cold for this amount of time, and I never get sick, but somehow or another it got me this time. It just got me, and I'm just very happy that it's almost over. Cool. So welcome, folks, to Love and Living in Vegas, the podcast. I'm your host, Sherman Ray. I'm the publisher of Love and Living in Vegas, the magazine, and we come to you Monday through Friday, talk to you about the people, places, trends, the events that are going on in Las Vegas. We've got a lot of stuff that's going on in Las Vegas right now, folks, and we cannot wait to tell you about it. As a matter of fact, one of the things we're going to talk about today is we're going to be talking about holiday parties, and we're going to put together our super list of do's and don'ts of holiday parties. I think you're going to check that out. Talk a little bit about the home prices here in Las Vegas because they've just gone through the roof. We're going to talk a little bit about sports again, too, because once again, folks, Vegas has become, how should we say this? Probably one of the hottest sports markets there is in the country. I I don't even mind telling that. It definitely is. And it looks like somebody's already trying to. Um, okay. They're already trying to send me notes early this morning. We'll have to get to that in just a minute. Hopefully my phone won't ring, but we'll get to that. Okay. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about the magazine, folks, because that is probably the biggest thing of this whole schneid thing here, folks. Livin in Vegas magazine is the new name of our magazine. Livin in Vegas, and hope you check that out, folks. This is going to be fun. January 2022, we're going to be launching Livin in Vegas magazine. We've been working on this for quite a long time, and for those of you, this might be the first time that you. I finally figured out how to point at it, so it's right there. This might be the first time that you've seen the cover for the magazine, but that's actually going to be the cover. And so you can see we're got articles abounding in it. Got a lot of contributing writers to the magazine, and we want to get this in your hands. This is the cool part about it. We really want to get this in your hands, and the only way we can do this is actually all you have to do is send me an email. Send me an email to info@livin. Oh, excuse me. Let's get rid of that. There we go. No, we got to get rid of that too. Get rid of that. Okay. So info@lovinandlivininvegas.com. That's info@lovinandlivininvegas.com, and we will send you a free digital copy of the magazine when it comes out. That's January of 2022. It's just in a couple more weeks. We're just putting the finishing touches on it, adding more. It's funny. The magazine started out, I don't know, 40, 50 pages or something like that. And in the last couple of weeks, we've actually expanded even more the number of pages, just because there's been so much more that's been coming up that we really wanted to add into the magazine. So so it's even bigger. And if you want a copy of it, or let's say you want to advertise, okay, you want to advertise in the magazine, which is going to be going out to our mailing list that's growing over more and more and more. We want to invite you to just send me an email at info@lovinandlivininvegas.com. That's info@lovinandlivininvegas.com, and you can you can check that out. So I'm gonna read this text message and the reason why I'm gonna read this text message right now, folks, is because it actually has to do with our event party for it, and so okay, so I'm good. I feel good about saying this. Okay, so we're having a launch party for the magazine, and the launch party we've been holding off to tell anybody about it because, one, it's very, we've had a couple of locations that just kind of fell through, didn't think it was going to work out. But now we actually I think we've actually got this. Okay, so, and I'm going to say this now. Okay, the event is on January 15th. Okay, and we're going to have it. Should I hold off? Okay, I'll make the announcement tomorrow. Okay, so if you come to the show tomorrow, I will tell you exactly where it's at. Okay, because I'm going to verify this. It's in a very cool place. Okay, um, and it's really high above the valley. Okay, I'll just leave it at that. Okay, it's very high above the valley, way at the south end of the valley of the strip area, and I'll just leave it at that. Okay, but and if you want to go to it, all you have to do is send me an email, and we will invite you to that. Okay, it's going to be an invite only. Okay, it's not going to be open to everybody and their mama. Okay, you actually have to register for it and all that kind of stuff, and you can actually go to that event. So that's very cool. So I'm excited about that. We'll put my name back up there. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about the housing market here in Las Vegas. Okay, this is, I don't know. We should probably, I don't know. So the housing market here in Vegas. We touched on this yesterday on the housing market in Vegas. um, for those of you who have been a part of Vegas for quite a while, you know that the housing market here in Vegas has been going through the roof. It's not just a lot of people want to live in Vegas; everybody wants to live in Vegas, and as a result of that, I'm going to trim my sound just a little more. As a result of that, we've got an explosion in how much people want for a home here. I was a realtor here many years ago. Probably wish I would have stayed as a realtor because I was 21 years of age at the time. And so that was a number of years ago. But you could buy at that time when I was a realtor back in the early 80s. Okay, this is a long time ago. You could buy 5 acres of land with a house on it for about $120,000. No, it was less than that. Oh gosh, it was a lot less than that. But suffice it to say, you can't get that anymore. I had a house up in Summerlin, bought it in '98. I bought it for $140,000, $150,000, and 2-story, 4 bedroom, 2.5 bath with a pool on a corner lot. It was the largest lot in the area, and I can tell exactly where it was at. That same house now, 504. I just checked, $543,000 for that house now. Okay, so a lot of people are starting to decide, what am I supposed to do? So there's a story that came out, and we were just talking about yesterday. The home prices in Las Vegas have just gone through the roof even more, up 20% since last year. Okay. Um, and so home prices in Las Vegas Valley continue to set records, putting prospective home buyers in a tricky position. The average price in a home in Southern Nevada last month, $420,000. Okay, average house price. Now some prospective home buyers are asking whether it's wiser or is it wise to buy a home now or wait. Okay, so there's a story about a guy who said, you know what, I'm thinking about it, but his rent just went up on his house. Get this, $525 for the month. That's how much it went up. Okay. Oh my gosh, $525 a month. That's crazy. That's a car. That's a car price. Okay. That's an extra car. So basically, you don't want a car. So you just, because your rent on a home just went up. Okay. Today's hot housing market is no walk in the park. It can be tough to navigate, especially first-time home buyers. So here's the deal, folks. And I just had a realtor on last month who talked about home prices, how they leveled off, and that she said, "Hey guys, guess what? If you're going to refinance your house, you better refinance now because the interest rates are going up, that kind of stuff." She was wrong. Okay, well, she was partly wrong. The interest rates may be going up a little bit, but the home prices are not going down. They're not going down by a long shot. They're continuing to go up. And if you have not bought a home yet, you probably lost another $10,000, $20,000. Okay, that's how much more you're gonna have to pay for the house. Okay, they are going to appraise for higher than what you think, and they're not going to stop, folks. I just don't see it. We still have people who are coming back into the housing market. People are just still moving out of California because California once again is having its issues. So I would say, folks, if you can afford to buy a home now, you can do it now. And and I wish I could bring on a realtor who could talk about it. There are some grant programs that are amazing. Literally, the grant program I heard last week was about a grant program that will basically pay your down payment for the house. Okay, you don't have to have money in the bank. Okay, you do have to qualify for the loan, but it's not tough at all. So think about it. Okay. Um, so many of you know who this lovely, lovely lady here is. That's Adele. That's right. Boy, is she cute or what, man? She almost looks like she looks cute. She looks like Adele. So Adele tickets. If you are one of the lucky Adele fans who received a notice that you could buy a pre-sale ticket Tuesday for the upcoming Las Vegas residency at Caesars, you will have to wait one more day. Guess what? Today is the day that they're actually going to be putting Adele tickets for pre-sale up. Okay. Um, Boy, this is amazing. So verified fan pre-sales are going to happen today. Okay, which means uh, so Adele's not going to be into town until like April. Okay, as far as I remember, we did a story about this last week. Um, and people, there's a fan base for Adele to do a residency here in Las Vegas. I think she's going to be. I think she'll be at Caesars. Let me double check here. Um, I think she's going to be playing at Caesars. Anyways, but excuse me, I was wrong. So Adele's going to be here in January. Sorry, she'll be playing from January to April. So okay, so I stand corrected. They are going to go on pre-sale like right now. I mean, it's gonna. You will probably get a pre-sale email if you are on her fan base or fan club. I didn't even know that. We should start a fan base for me, shouldn't we? If you want to be on my fan club, I never thought about that. I was just joking. Um, but you'll start getting a an email saying, "Hey, guess what? Adele tickets are on. Get them now because they're going to sell out. They're going to sell out." And they already talked about this before that they're going to sell out. And if you didn't get be a part of it, it is what it is. Um, so Adele will be in town here January till April of 2022, and should be an exciting thing, right? She had some cool stuff out a few years ago, and now she's back on top of it, and we're excited for her. So very cool. Yesterday, something real cool happened. There was actually a job fest. Uh, it was called the Governor Steve Sisolak's Job Fest 2021, and 2,100 job seekers registered to attend the event. That's a lot. That's according to the governor's office, which billed the event as the biggest job fair in the state. Woo! More than 100 employers showed up, ready to hire, according to the Training and Rehabilitation Center. There were companies both big and small. At last count, we were at 183 employers, and they combined. Guess how many jobs were up? 16,000 job openings. Okay, 16,000 job openings, and that was yesterday. And I mean, how many of you actually went out there to that job fest? I'm going to put that question out there too. How many of you? Oh, and I can actually do it. Okay. So I've got two questions. Okay, how many are going to Adele? Okay, so that's one question. And so this is this question. So some of you might be wondering, where am I sending this question to? This is on our Facebook page. So we're on our Facebook group page. Okay, um, it and we have a lot of people on that. We have nearly a little over 400 people on that group, and it's growing every day. So we're excited about that. And so if you want to get in on the chat, 8:30 in the morning on our Facebook group page, Lovin and Livin in Vegas. And so my second question is, and how many went out to the job fest? Okay, and how many of you went out to the job fest? So hopefully some of you actually went out there to that job fest, because there's a lot of jobs, 16,000 job openings. That's amazing. That they have something so cool like that going on. What's our next story? So let's. So I've got a real cool thing. So Martha Stewart put out. Okay, there we go. So Martha Stewart put out a list, and I want you guys to get involved in this because these are pretty funny. So Martha Stewart put out a list of holiday party do's and don'ts. Okay, holiday party do's and don'ts, and we thought it was kind of funny. So we're going to read some of hers to you, and then we want to add some of them ourselves. So holiday party do's and don'ts. Okay. Um, do do's, do bring a gift. Of course, I mean, that's pretty good. So don't come into a party empty-handed, she said, and that's just a faux pas. Okay, you must bring a gift. Uh, Number two, do have a fail-safe idea on hand. Okay, let's face it, buying gifts is difficult if you're planning on bringing a gift for a host. Stewart suggests having a go-to gift. Okay, so something, you always have something on the slide. In her case, it's 1 dozen eggs gathered from her own chicken coop. Ooh, I know. You're bringing eggs to a. Okay, but it's Martha Stewart. I guess people really love Martha Stewart eggs. Number three, do end the party when you want. Okay. Hosting an entertaining guest is fun, but it can be a lot of work if you have guests who overstay their welcome. Stewart suggests letting them know gently, time to go. Okay, time to move. Okay, I'm going to bed now, so I'll have to ask you all to leave. Okay, many of you know Dean Martin. Dean Martin was part of the Rat Pack, was Mr. Cool. He would actually leave his own parties. He would invite people to his party, and then when he was tired of people hanging out at his house because they noticed he wasn't there, he would call the police. I know, he would call the police on his own guests. And they would come to the door, knock, knock, knock. Hey, Mr. Martin, we hear that there's a party going on here and the neighbors are complaining. All these people will have to leave. Hey, guys, the police are here. You all have to leave. Okay, that's the story of Dean Martin. Very cool. And don'ts. Don't regift. Martha Stewart says don't regift. So this is her list of do's and don'ts at a Christmas party. Don't arrive early, she says. That's not good. Okay, a little past call time is always nice for the hostess or host, but never be exactly on time. And don't change the seating chart. Okay, well, yes, okay. So don't change the seating chart. I guess if you go to a party where they have a seating chart, where they kind of sit you in a little corner, okay? If you don't like where you're seating, she says, basically say, suck it up, but don't move to another seating chart. Okay, so we came up with our own list of do's and don'ts for a party. Okay, so here it is: the Lovin and Livin in Vegas holiday party do's and don'ts list. Okay, you write these down. Don't knock over the Christmas tree. Wouldn't you say that's a good one? Yeah. It was my granddaughter's. Okay. Number 2. Don't bring your pet alligator. Probably not a good idea, especially if they haven't been fed. If you are going to regift, remove the tag that says discontinued, discounted, and irregular. Yeah, I probably want to get rid of that. Number 4 on our list of do's and don'ts at a holiday party. Don't bring music that only has the ads for the music. Okay, that was my granddaughter, so that's probably not a good one. Okay. Don't bring the neighbor's cat. Meow. Yeah. Okay. Don't turn the party into an Amway recruiting meeting. Okay, screw that one out. That was a good one. I like that one. Okay. Don't invite your jazzercise exercise class to show up unannounced. Kind of like that. I kind of like that one. Don't your jazzercise class. You never want to do that. It's probably a bad thing. How about don't bring a flower wreath with the ribbon that says, "Here lies poor poodle Chester. He was fast, just not as fast as a Yugo." Huh? That was a good one. How about don't invite your old friend Phil, who's just out of parole because he was pinched as a pickpocketer. Oh, screwed that one up. All right. How about don't rush in the door and say, "Quick, turn on the cornhole championships." I know. It was a good one. Where's my other one? I had a really good one, too. Okay, how about don't linger under the mistletoe with the hostess too long. Okay, I'm missing one. Where's my... Oh, how about don't steal the heirloom silverware? Okay. How about don't invite your friend... Oh, I had a really good one here and I can't find it now. How about don't invite your 7-foot friend whose nickname is, oh gosh, Phil the Spitter. Oh, there it goes. Don't invite your 7-foot friend whose nickname is Spencer the Spitter. Okay, I screwed it up. Oh, anyways, that's my list of holiday do's and don'ts if you're going to a party. Okay, I've got more, but I'm not going to do it. Anyways, I thought that was cool. So anyways, folks, once again, let me tell you a little bit about our magazine. The magazine's coming out, folks. Magazine, Livin in Vegas magazine's coming out January 2022. We're still working on it. We're adding more stuff to it all the time. And we're going to put a list of holiday do's and don'ts in it. We're going to put that in there. We also have a list of some of the most iconic drinks in Las Vegas. I think you're going to like that. Some of those iconic drinks and where to get them. I think you're going to enjoy that too. You can get a digital copy of Livin in Vegas magazine. You can get that. All you got to do is send me an email. Okay, send me an email to info@lovinandlivinvegas.com. That's info@lovinandlivinvegas.com. And we will get that into your hands, folks. Okay? This is must reading. There's bar none. There's going to be stories in there that I think are going to really surprise you. Dr. Phil is actually going to be in our magazine. No, it's not regular Dr. Phil, TV Dr. Phil. It's our Dr. Phil. We have a Dr. Phil who lives here in Las Vegas, and he's got a fantastic story about what brought him here. Okay, who brought him here, what brought him here. Dr. Phil, you're going to want to read about him. We're going to outline how to take control of your life in 2022. 2020, 2021 were just horrendous years for many, many people. And so there's a lot of people who are probably, living, they're kind of still trying to figure out what they want to do. We want to help you take control of your life in 2022. It's going to be in the magazine. So there's going to be some great, plus much, much, much more stuff that is going to be in it. If you'd like to get a digital copy of our magazine, all you got to do is send me an email to info@lovinandlivininvegas.com. That's info, lovinandlivininvegas.com, and you can get that for yourself. Okay, you definitely can. Do I have another story I want to talk to you about? Oh gosh. Let's talk about one more, okay? Because before I leave, okay, we've talked about this before about Las Vegas being a sports town. Okay. Oh, let's get rid of this story. About Las Vegas being a sports city, and it looks like we have got another announcement that's going to be coming up pretty soon. Okay, we know that the Oakland A's are looking at coming here. We already have the Raiders. We already have the Vegas Golden Knights. We already have the Aces that are a part. We also have the Vegas Lights, the FC Lights our football team. Okay, but Major League Soccer is looking at Las Vegas too. Okay, we are one of a small group of cities nationwide that Major League Soccer is looking at as a home for an expansion team. Okay, now this is crazy. So, if this happens, folks, you may not ever be able to buy a house. Okay, I think this actually works. This kind of dovetails with the whole housing thing too. If we get either a baseball team, basketball team, or a soccer team, you may not be able to buy a home in Las Vegas ever again. Okay, so I'm going to give you advice right now. Buy a house. I don't care if you have to, beg, borrow, steal, whatever you got to do. Buy a house now, because in another year you may not be able to buy it. I'm just going to say it right now. 1 year from this date, I want you to come back. Today is what, the 8th of December. We're going to come back a year from now, and you're going to, replay this tape and see if my prediction was right. If we get another sports franchise here in Las Vegas, all bets are off, because everybody's going to move here to Vegas. They will probably expand the valley. North Las Vegas Airport will probably be something totally different, because you're going to need another airport too. It's just, McCarran will not be big enough for the amount of people. So the folks at the MLS, the Major League Soccer, are saying, hey, Vegas is the place. It's legit. We have the base, we have the fan base, and guess what? I don't think you're going to be able to say that we won't have the people here in another year, because I believe the predictions are that we are going to grow by at least 500,000 people in the next 10 years. Yeah, 10 years. Pretty amazing. Anyways, I want to remind you folks one more time that we have a magazine that's coming out January of 2022, and we've got tomorrow I'm going to be making an announcement about the launch party. You're going to want to come to that. You are definitely going to want to come to that, and it's not going to be a small party. It's going to be a really just a fun time, but the only way you're going to be able to go to it is you're going to have to be invited. Okay, so we'll make the announcement about it tomorrow, and hopefully you can actually make it to that party. Okay. Anyways, thank you all who've been praying for me, because my cold is going away. I'm a little nasally still, but I think we'll be all right. Okay, by tomorrow, hopefully we'll just be just perfect. Okay. Anyways, I will see you again tomorrow, 8:30 in the morning to about 9 o'clock for Lovin and Livin in Vegas, the podcast. It's been Sherman Ray. Thank you all for being with us, folks, and thank you for praying for me. We will see you again tomorrow for Lovin and Livin in Vegas, the podcast. Bye-bye.